Hello, I'm Kaido from Estonia, quite far away, as you might know, or not, next to Finland. Okay, so let's start with comparing Drupal with WordPress. It's not good comparison. It would be like compare apples with bananas or oranges, but let's do it. Yeah. About myself, of course, I'm going to talk a lot about myself because it's about me. Yeah, I've done some work with Drupal, WordPress, Laravel, and some JS stuff. So I would like to mention that I've worked with Gutenberg blocks, which is really nice new thing in WordPress. For editing experience and front end too. So let's continue. Okay, I will start with bad things at this time. So WordPress has been here like 100 years, more than Drupal, I guess, a bit, or not. I'm not sure really, but it has a lot of old ideas inside still, and I guess it's because there are lots of WordPress developers who would like to use this continuously. So lack of code from front-end separation, that means you can write some SQL queries in the template, and yeah, it can get messy really easily. Building and migrating multilingual size systems will get messy, at least in my opinion. I had some problems with that. Yeah, it was quite hard. Yeah, I had to use extra plugins for that, and later I had to write a lot of custom codes. Yeah, so good things. It's built the way it can be really easily upgraded without breaking the site. That's always good, isn't it? Yeah, I guess things can happen with WordPress too, but I haven't broke my site yet, my sites, with clicking update plugin, which is always good. I wouldn't do it with Drupal. I wouldn't just click update. Yeah, I guess I have some mistake in there. I guess, yeah, innovation with WordPress. No, it's something which I don't want to say. Yeah, it's really easy to start with WordPress. You can just download it that you have a site already. And I really love WordPress media system, which is really great. You can reuse images, videos, everything, you know. So, and it has really good media selection options. So, okay, let's talk about Drupal. I think it's quite bad that Drupal is changing a lot with every pre-version, but it's also good. I mean, it's bad because you have to relearn a lot. I guess it's going to change soon, and it's really hard to learn at first, I guess. At least it was for me. I started with Drupal 4 point something, and yeah, I broke my site a few times. Yeah, as I told before, it's Also, good thing. It's changing a lot because it's all about innovation and trying new things and so on. And at this moment, you can apply your knowledge everywhere elsewhere. Like if you learn this Drupal things, I guess it would be easy to go to Symfony and continue there. Learning and working with Drupal makes you a more organized person. This means I'm talking about myself again. It's I was quite a mess before I started working with Drupal, but you have to be organized and you have to create systems. So yeah. So I guess everybody are from Drupal, so you know there are fields and so on in core. So it's it's good to work with Drupal because of that. So let's start to talk about things that matter. Storing the data. That WordPress has a thing called post, and they use post for everything. I would say it's because it was before than Drupal had entity system. It's I guess it's they thought about this earlier. Right now we have entity system in Drupal, which means we have configuration entities and content entities, but WordPress had this like 100 years ago. I don't know how far back it goes, but yeah. So today we have a great entity system with Drupal 8. It's newer, of course. It has more features. I find it better. But of course, it's harder to learn and start with this one. If you want to make your custom entities, if you would like to create your custom post type in WordPress, it's like, I don't know, it's 10 rows maybe, with labels and so on. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, so, extra fields. At least I need all the time extra fields if I want to structure anything. So with WordPress there are modules which you can plugins which you can install, and you can get these. But when you create new field, you have to edit your template. When you change field configuration, you can break your stuff, or your client can break it. It's quite bad at this. I guess it can go bad. In this way, with Drupal we have much better way of working with fields and layouts and so on. It's I guess it's much easier. I mean, yeah, just drag and drop and that it works. It's way more easier. So yeah, with the WordPress you have this data is stored in metadata table, which means there is a big table which contains a lot of data about every input you had it. It's everything is text, you know. I mean, when you add numbers, it's still text. When you add, let's say, coordinates or whatever, it's text in WordPress. So with Drupal you will get different MySQL fields with different data. It's structured as it should be, I guess. So in this way, this is the thing I don't like in WordPress, that data is in metadata, and if you have to query it, it's gonna get messy. You're gonna have lots of joins and so on. It's yeah, it's quite hard. I guess maybe there are better ways to do it, but I haven't found it yet. Yeah. So let's talk about templates. WordPress template files are written in PHP. So PHP was templating language at first. So of course you should write it in PHP, but yeah, templates info is added to CSS file header using multi-row comments. Yeah, it's really easy to start with that. When you build your stuff with WordPress, you're gonna have a lot of theme files containing a lot of PHP, and of course it can get really complicated. And template system is WordPress specific. Yeah, you can't use it anywhere else. Yeah, so with Drupal, we have tweak template engine included. Info files are separated. I guess it's just one fact. Starting a new theme is much more complicated than with WordPress. I guess it's yeah, that's how it is. But when you learn it, for me it was like when I created my first Drupal 8 template, and then I just created this boilerplate for myself, because I couldn't just remember everything what had to be done. So yeah, this will say all about this theming stuff. Yeah. Okay. Security. I guess WordPress itself is really secure. They patch it if needed and so on. But if you add extra plugins, of course, there can be a lot of problems, because let's say when I write a WordPress plugin, I haven't learned about WordPress security as much as some other guys, so I guess I'm gonna create some security problems myself. So with Drupal, we have all these APIs. I can just write my stuff and not to think too much about security. I should think more, of course, but yeah, I know there are guys who are dealing with this. So yeah, so it's a bit easier with Drupal. Of course, you can make WordPress more secure with plugins, extra plugins. There are some paid and some free plugins for that, and they're gonna modify WordPress in different ways. Some will change the structure of things. I guess, I mean, I did it once because I couldn't understand why my site gets hacked. I just changed the structure and the problem was gone. At least I thought so. Yeah, so yeah, this is yeah. Okay, about caching. WordPress has a simple caching system, and I know there are some caching done for posts, but if I have to write my own stuff, then I have to handle caching myself. So yeah, adding this better caching system was meant about, I was thinking about is, let's say, adding memcache or something. So I tried to do it, I failed. It's just because I didn't learn enough or something, but yeah. So there were some cool modules, plugins to do that, but yeah, I don't know. I just didn't get this to work. So Drupal 8 has really featured its caching mechanism. We have this possibility to use tags, and I mean, we can clear caches depending on some conditions. Caching is everywhere. You don't have to deal with it too much to get it to work. You can add your own caching rules, and I kind of love it. At first, I just turned off cache for some things like blocks because I didn't understand how to do it. But after I saw I have to learn it because Drupal will get quite slow if you don't do caching. So yeah. So yeah, that's I guess all about caching. Yeah, I guess I talked about media already. Drupal has also media entities, and you can use media, but WordPress, it's been in WordPress longer time, so it's got a lot better, I guess. But I guess Drupal will get there. I mean, it's getting better every day. I haven't even used the latest media stuff yet, but yeah, that's my problem, not Drupal's. Okay, extending system with plugins or modules. WordPress has really big plugin library. I guess it's because WordPress has been in similar condition, like I don't know even how many years. So you can extend it and you can sell it few years if you make paid plugin. I guess if I would like to do business with WordPress, I would create some plugins and sell it for 10 years from now, and it would work easily. And yeah, I really like that. I really like and hate that you can download, edit, and remove plugins and files through UI within WordPress, because I can mess up and somebody else can. Yeah, creating plugin is easy. I guess you can mess it up with first row when you create a plugin. And since I know there is this one row you have to add every plugin on top of it, so nobody could access this without an access. So yeah, if I forgot it, I guess it could be security problem again. And at least as far as I know, there are no dependency manager in core or anywhere. Anywhere is maybe it's too much to say, but yeah. So you have to write your own code to say you need another plugin to things to work or whatever. So yeah, it's handled better in Drupal. At least I see it like this. So Drupal 8 has like 7,000 modules or a bit more today. I guess we don't need as much modules as you need with WordPress, because with WordPress every module, I mean, it doesn't reuse much these ideas. Everybody will write their own stuff and think about their own needs. With Drupal, guys will try to think about others a lot and create modules with sometimes with stuff you don't need. Of course, it can be true with WordPress too, because you want to like to a lot of guys. With Drupal you can add new modules through UI, but you cannot remove those. I guess it's good in a way. When I say this, now I think about adding modules through UI at this day. I would rather see this option to remove this UI, because today when we use Composer for managing stuff, then I wouldn't like to see that my client has added some module or done something like this, if he has permissions to do that, or even developers who work with me. I would rather see one way how to add modules, how to remove them, and then it's Drupal will notify me if I have unmet dependencies. It's always good to know that you need another module to things to work. I mean, it depends on a module creator, but I could forget this line, of course, but it's really easy to add compared to with WordPress. I guess it's easier. Today we are building a lot of stuff with APIs. I do it, you do it, I guess. WordPress has built-in JSON API. It's enabled. I don't know is it good or bad, but you can just go and use JSON API. I guess with I could use somebody else site's JSON API without asking or something. I guess it's true. It is. So I guess it could be bad, since I could maybe I don't want somebody to use my APIs, so I guess there are ways to restrict it, but I don't know what we missed, but so WordPress has JSON API enabled default, and you can extend it easily, adding like 5 rows to create JSON API, some endpoint, and I guess one function to create your output. That would be all for that. So, but you need some coding skills or a friend who can code. So it can be good, it can be bad. The same goes with Drupal. So you can, I like that I can just turn it on and off, since maybe I don't want to I don't want to make it usable for everyone, or maybe I don't even want to use it. So with Drupal you can add custom endpoints with clicking some buttons, let's say using views or something like this, or you can code it. It's not so easy with Drupal. It's a bit more difficult, but I guess you can just learn about this online. So maybe some copy paste or something like this. So Let's see. Yeah, about migration. WordPress has built-in, really simple to use migrations. I just migrated one site a few days ago. It took, I guess, 5 minutes to migrate it, because it was, I took some blog posts from WordPress.com and just imported the other system. It was, yeah, I had little problem with videos, but I added my own custom plugin for that, 2 rows to make short code to work or something like this. So yeah, but I guess when you would like to import something else to WordPress, it depends on the site, but you need, I guess, I mean, I don't know any better way, but I have needed a lot of coding for that, especially with WooCommerce, which is WordPress e-commerce platform. I really like this UI what they have. I don't like how it's built really, but yeah, UI is really good. I learned from that. So with Drupal, I guess, I mean, not guess, but it is not so easy. I mean, with WordPress too, if you change your architecture, then it's different again, and it's not so easy to migrate anymore. Yeah, when you want to import something else to Drupal, I guess there is a tool for that already, like importing from WordPress. I guess, I'm sure there is a tool for WordPress, from Drupal to WordPress too. So that, I didn't write this, but now I thought about this. So yeah. So with Drupal we have this migration API and different plugins. It's quite hard to start with that, but when you get it, it's easy, and yeah, it needs less coding, I guess. I'm not guess, but I'm sure. Yeah. So yeah. Some conclusions. Since WordPress was meant to be blog engine, so it has some features what makes it less suitable for CMS. So extending is easy, of course. You can find a lot of cool templates and plugins, which is not the case with Drupal. Yeah, WordPress can be updated automatically. It could create problems, but I've heard many guys do that, and they say it's good. It doesn't create any problems. Yeah, I guess it's depending on plugin quality also. If you have bad quality plugin, then the same could happen with Drupal, of course. So yeah, Drupal is really a different beast. So it's I guess it's easy to start with Drupal too, if you don't have to code or you have experience with OOP. The code quality is better, okay, and less teams to choose. So you cannot, I mean, you can find some good teams, but it's harder. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it's not this time yet. I would love to talk about this new thing, which is not here. WordPress has this Gutenberg editor, which is, they call it block editor. It's, I mean, it will give you kind of similar interface, which you would get with using using these paragraphs, but it's it will create you HTML, so you don't have this structure, but it's I really loved it. If you want to use it for creating some, let's say, marketing page, it will be really faster. Click it, and I mean, to build it, and it's really easy and easy to extend it because it's using React. So it's I just googled something about React because I wanted to write this Gutenberg block stuff. So yeah, it's much better to extend than CK editor. I mean, it's even easier. I've done some CK editor plugins too, but yeah. So yeah, so I guess it's gonna replace some text-based inline editing tools soon. Like if you have heard about Divi, it's something you can just create layouts without using code and so on. I mean, it's really good. It's gonna look good without any coding, but yeah, it's gonna take a lot of JavaScript with itself. So if you use this Gutenberg stuff, it's gonna be cleaner. So HTML will be nicer. So I guess I'm gonna use it within Drupal 2 now, soon, since I can just I just love it. That's all about this. So yeah, I guess that's about it for tonight. If you have any questions, then it would be a good time to ask. No? Okay. So yeah, thank you.